nowhere. You know,
I didn't either.
Sorry, I didn't expect Eddie's son to come and
you.
talk to him, grab his face.
Hate you.
Dad, we're gonna do it together. I was like,
but I'm like, who the fuck are y'all facing together? What the fuck?
It don't matter.
it don't matter.
It's Dominic. Young
No,
Dominic.
but no.
How old is this kid?
Yo,
It definitely like has
18,
to be like 19,
yeah.
like
Dominic,
not even
you know,
21. I don't think.
I think he's 21.
He's 21.
I don't know.
But like, yo,
I wanna
I
know if
like
he could
that
drink.
moment. You know, I like the diversity.
I mean,
it
I
shows
just
that how
hope that he doesn't
brown
turn
and black
on-
people have dads.
Okay, you know what? That's solid. Solid.
See,
not even
this is why Ray is
Yo,
loved by the
so
hood.
I hope you
Hood
know.
niggas love Ray.
Yo, so I hope you know we're gonna call this episode "Daddy Issues." I want to let you know that.
Exactly.
And I never name episodes at all. I tell you guys that right now.
Exactly.
I've never
you know?
named an episode.
Yeah.
You
Everyone was
are
happy
on
like,
one.
dang, I wish I had a dad like that.
Drop the ticket podcast. Drop the ticket podcast. Drop the ticket podcast. Drop the ticket. We got Wilkins, Mr. Black, Chanel from the HR best squad. Every single view, no one can take on. Vision of the crew, unstoppable in your face. All I say, we speak the truth in every single debate. Out I wait. Every week we bring and take the topics. The views and optics. The fans out live party and start a popping. The one can do it like this. The viewer party commence at the crew excitement. The best show to find the Jump and Tears podcast. We hold it down. They know us now. We take the crown. Jump and Tears podcast. We hold it down. They know us now. We hold it down. Jump and Tears, Jump and Tears, Jump and Tears podcast. Jump and Tears, Jump and Tears, Jump and Tears podcast. We hold it down.
Oh, yeah.
Next week we're gonna start in the middle of that song because I feel like you never get to hear the full. Whoa, that's my shit. Do you? Whose idea was this? This is great. Oh my god, I needed this. You have no idea the longest day I've had today. So this is actually really, really good.
Welcome to episode
dead ass
16 or
16. Lucky 6. No, not lucky 16, but the 16th edition of season 4. Jesus, the longest running season of the Jabba Tears podcast I feel like we've ever had. As always, I am Janelle from HR here with Sir Wilkins and Mr. Black. Mr. Black has his headphones on, which I'm super duper proud of. So now he can hear himself and understand the importance of talking into the mic. But before we jump into our 16th episode, we have a little bit of homework to do and take care of. I want to give a special shout out to True Hill Heat. I was on their episode this past Saturday with Miss Chrissy Love. So shout outs to her and our Hot Girl episode with True Hill Heat 44. So shout outs to, Sid, Baby Seth, JJ, and of course Miss Chrissy Love for having me on their episode this past Saturday. You can check it out on their Facebook group, True Hill Heat. And I do believe it's going to be on like YouTube and all major platforms. But it was super fun actually recording with her. It legit was like the Drink Champ episode that I've been wanting to do here. Because low-key Chrissy we both were smacked, I think towards the end of the shows. Can you, your gum.
Oh, sorry.
Your gum.
Swallow it.
Why'd you swallow it? That's bad for you. There's a whole ass piece of paper there.
It's not working.
Wow. But yeah, we were on that summer colada, Ciroc, Flow. But it was super duper fun to just chop it up with her. And if you haven't seen Chrissy before, she's been on our Big Four episodes previously, so you can check that on demand on our Job and Tears podcast YouTube page. What else is in store? Oh, officially announced. We did do a little bit of a spoiler last week, but Miss Faye Jackson and Miss Tasha Steeles, my beloved wrestling sisters, will be hosting our All Out AEW viewing party next Saturday. Jesus, my days are all fucking together these days. Next Saturday, August the 31st, the last day of August, we will be at Legends. Doors open at 6. I do believe start time is at 8. But before then, they will be doing the Battle Royale, I think, on the pre-show. So make sure to come out, support, come meet your girls. They are live and in color and in person. And shout out to Faye for just coming back from Houston, Texas. She did a show at Booker T's Wrestling School. So shout out to her, super duper proud of her. And then also Tasha will be on our sponsored show, Battle Club Pro, called Anything You Can Do. Coming September 28th at 2 o'clock in Brooklyn, New York. So shout out to Joaquin and the whole team at Battle Club Pro. We will be pushing the show because we have the likes of Tessa Blanchard. This will probably be the last indie show LAX will have. So it's super duper important to come out. You get to see Darius Carter and then once again Miss Tasha Steeles in the ring. And more matches to be announced soon. Coming soon. We are finalizing some travel details of certain individuals. So stay tuned for that. Anything else before we jump into? So if you have not watched Glow Season 3, it is super duper important you do that. Like, Season 3 is better than Season 2. Hands
Why
down.
is it important to watch it?
Just because, once again, it's wrestling related. So it's a good show. Like, it's honestly, you get to see different storylines. You get to see this, like, everyone that's seen the season already, because it's 10 episodes, and I binged on Sunday. But everyone that I'm talking to that's seen it, there's, like, real character development in the season. Like, you get to learn a little bit more about literally every single person that is on that show. So
It wasn't a lot of wrestling. From what it was wrestling, but like for instance, season 1, season 2 was focused more on
learning
the craft, them doing the show, and then this one was like, it was about in some ways, what a performer goes through.
Right, like the life and times of an actual wrestler, like in the business.
Yeah, like for instance, one of them has a child who has to deal with that. Then like homegirl, the Samoan one, she's dealing with the whole.
She wants to actually like
wrestle,
and
that's what an artist goes through. Like, I'm doing this mainstream shit, but I want to do something more catered to my craft. Me being an artist, so I loved it. It was some couple of what's going on here moments.
Oh,
it was hella wild, and I was like,
wild is an understatement. That episode.
But the show is based in Vegas, so you expect some wild shit to happen.
No, but that was like beyond wild. Like that was just
that's
like
some typical Vegas shit. Though.
Whoa.
That was some typical Vegas shit, though.
I don't know, bro. I've been to Vegas, and I would not do that.
You're not living your life, B.
No, I'm living life, but I'm not living that. Not living that lifestyle.
Yeah, you're not living that lifestyle. You can't hate.
No, I'm not hating, but it was just, wow. I was like, whoa.
It came mad left field.
It didn't, but it did.
No, it did. It came mad left field.
It didn't, but it did.
When he put his hand down his pants, I was
Spoiler
like, whoops.
But no, it wasn't left because of the relationship he had with the guy that died. So I already kind of knew he was like,
yeah, no.
Interesting.
No. That was wild.
But you gotta watch it, Yardy. Mr. Black, gotta watch it. Everyone that's tuning in, watch Glow season 3.
Well, like once I get some time.
Yeah, like I stayed home Sunday, which is odd for me, and I just binge watched 10 episodes.
Nah, staying home's not an option.
All day.
I don't like staying home.
I kept thinking like this week is like the AEW viewing party.
That's why I paused. Like I was just like, this.
And I kept thinking, like, what do I have to do? So I was like, oh, I have to go to my goddaughter's
birthday party.
Yeah, and that was it. And then Sunday I'm free. But I was like, am I really free on Sunday? I feel like I have to do something.
What am I doing Sunday? Shit. Oh, I have my friend's daughter's 5th birthday party. And then Saturday, I have a game night to go to.
I'm recording Deadass Girls on Saturday too.
Oh, shout out to the Deadass Girls podcast. They just had Tati, who's been on the Big Four before. She just was on their episode. I think their SummerSlam predictions, which they didn't even get to on the episode. But when are you recording with Deadass Girls?
This Saturday.
Okay.
So I'm probably going to do that and then go straight to my Goddaughters thing.
Nice. Mr. Black, any updates in life? I just feel like we haven't had just us in a while talk about life. And
I live a boring life.
you don't live a boring life. Be quiet. Like, shut your mouth.
Oh.
Wow. Either you've been doing some freak nasty shit and you just didn't want to say just now, or
Nah, I ain't been doing nothing. I just been chilling, you know?
I know it's the end of the summer. My days are all mixed up.
Nah, for me, like, summer ended in the beginning of August. Like, I always
How?
Listen, I'm a workhorse. So, I always go by the
that's
harvest of, like, I always go by, like,
Talk to the mic.
farmers. I always go by how the farmers, and traditionally, they usually start what they have to do in August.
Mm-hmm.
So, my summer's ending, like, in July. So I just been on some work, chill. If I do chill, work, smoke
You do
weed,
chill.
work, smoke weed, work, and that's it.
Yo, so did I tell you about what happened to us in Newark? Just mad random. But the VMAs are in Newark at the Prudential Center on Monday, which I think is super duper interesting. MTV Video Music Awards is being held at Prudential
they
Center.
don't give out the Moon Man more. They give out the gender neutral man now, right?
I don't know. Yeah. But shout out to them because they're actually doing the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard to Missy Elliott this year, which I think
that's dope.
Which I think is super
What does that mean,
dope.
Vanguard?
So it's like their highest kind of like praise of like a performer.
It's like a lifetime achievement award.
Yeah. So like previously Justin Timberlake's won it, Beyonce, Rihanna. So the list goes on and on and on. But this year they're doing Missy Elliott, which I think is super dope. Well overdue. And so I'm kind of excited to see what their performance is. But just niggas in Newark are very different. Like, very different.
You know they have a water crisis?
Yeah, that too. Like lead in the water. Like it's like wild.
They're trying to kill black and
It's
brown
not.
people.
It's not on the level of Flint though. Like
But you have to understand, like, Jersey's just a different vibe out there. B.
Jersey, very different.
Like, I feel
Very.
like how that more
Shout out
females
to
got their
anyone
moms in their
watching
life.
in Jersey. You guys are different.
You have to understand, a lot of them have their dad in their life.
What? No. I definitely know a few Jersey niggas that have never met their dads in their life.
I don't mess with niggas, so I won't know that.
But just in general, like that's across the country. Like that's not just a.
Well,
like,
NXT's on the USA.
well, clearly, Sir Wilkins doesn't want to talk about personal things.
Talk about people's dads and shit.
Well, that was your brother. Like, that wouldn't left, but without me even trying. But we're gonna go, I guess,
No, Mr.
right
Black don't
into
care.
clearly. We're gonna go right into our opening segment behind
Why is it-
Gorilla's
the thing is
position. Oh, I don't know why.
Hold on. Keep going.
Oh, but before no, why would I keep going? Oh, it's been a long day, ladies and gentlemen. So our opening segment behind Gorilla's position, our I guess OMG moment of this week is NXT will officially be on the USA Network starting September the 18th. Excuse me, Wednesday. September the 18th, you can begin watching NXT on USA Network at 8 p.m. It's going to be a 2-hour live show. And I'm really, really excited that the fact that they are staying at Full Sail University out in Orlando. But they're going to be live every week at Full Sail, 2 hours on Wednesday nights. On once again the USA Network. So it comes to a bit of a surprise because there've been rumbles of FS1, which is under Fox, taking NXT under the reins. But apparently USA was throwing some money at WWE and was like, well, if we're losing SmackDown, we want to add at least another brand to fill in that void. And definitely there's nothing on Wednesday nights on USA, so I think it's a really good pickup for them anyway. But as everyone knows, TNT will be launching AEW on Wednesday nights starting October the 2nd with their first weekly show in the nation's capital of Washington, D.C. So my question to the table, are we seeing the Wednesday Night Wars And then also just what are your general thoughts of NXT going live? So no more spoilers, because that was the one thing that I hated about SmackDown when it went, when it wasn't live. And it's kind of the one thing I've been dreading with NXT, because they'll tape for like weeks on, but then they don't play. They play them out, weeks later. So it going live changes the ball game a little bit. But what are your thoughts? I'll start with Mr. Black. What are your thoughts on NXT on USA? And will there be a bit of it's kind of a legit competition going on just in terms of ratings. Maybe not so much of the product, because I still think there'll be very two separate products in delivering that. But what are your thoughts?
It's a good thing. You always try to make something a war sometimes. It's just like, honestly, it's boiled down to preference at this point. You understand? Like, do you prefer handmade cheese or turkey or cheese at this point? Like, they're both a sandwich. They're both going to fulfill you in the same exact way. You prefer honey mustard, you prefer spicy mustard. Same mustard, but just different flavor. Different flavor for different folks. So, at this point, it's all about the marketing. Who has better, who's going to push what better? And historically, USA don't really push WWE. Now, TNT, they're going to push that. So I'm also want to see what kind of marketing tool to get people to watch Wednesday nights consistently. And if you call this a war, I guess, but yet this NXT is still a niche thing. Not every wrestling fan watch it. A lot of the key players, not everyone knows them. So a lot of people not seeing it from a hindsight, in a greater picture. NXT is kind of playing from behind a lot more times. So a lot of fans might be like, oh, yeah, cool, but they're not who they were in the indies. Now, AEW have that little bit more ahead of the game, because they have people that, all right, the AEW's new. They're not going to put restrictions on the Kenny Omega. I haven't seen Jericho this unleashed since such and such. There's no reigns on him. There's no reigns on Cody Rhodes. So you get the best of the best in AEW, that that what they're going to put forth. NXT, you may not get the Kashi Ono you're gonna see in an indie show.
Well, that's just a terrible example, but I understand what you're saying. I was like, that nigga.
This is your example?
That's the worst. But I mean, no, I'm just
saying. Or someone like Adam Cole, you get WWE Adam Cole. Still's good, but don't you miss the unfiltered Adam Cole that was in Bullet Club? So my point is NXT is kind of playing from a different vantage, because they playing from a handicap compared to AEW that has no handicap. So I think AEW is gonna win the winnings in the first week and probably for a while, unless NXT do some the point is not to have main star talent on there, like such as a John Cena, a Bobby Lashley on there. It was meant to develop talent. So now at this point, you're taking away from development talent. NXT is basically a WWE ECW, but we all know how that went. So either way, I feel like AEW is going to win this Wednesday night war, but NXT might win in the long run, unless AEW just blow NXT out the water.
Okay, Miss Sir Wilkins, your thoughts on NXT on
NXT
USA.
On the USA Network. It has officially done 2 hours is going to be, so let's break it down. You mentioned one thing, which was you said that NXT's fan base is different from AEW. That is wrong. The reason why I believe it's not the same thing, in my opinion, is because they have the same exact fan base. A lot of people who love NXT are the ones who love AEW. It's the same exact fan base. It's that mid 25 to 30, 35 fan base, which is they feel that WWE, the main roster WWE, has disrespected them as wrestling fans. And they're the same ones that clamor to NXT. Will this be a war? Yes, it is in some ways or another, because I just mentioned the fan base is very similar. So you're putting people who watch wrestling to go yo, hey, what do I do? Because if I remember correctly, when Fyter Fest was happening, if you guys are listening to me,
I am. Sorry, someone asked me a question.
Because the Fyter Fest was happening, when I was going through my timeline on Twitter and on Facebook, I saw people watching both. People watching Fyter Fest. Was it Fyter Fest? Fyter Fest and Evolve, which is very similar to NXT. Not the same thing, but very similar. Now NXT is a bigger brand than Evolve, so you think people are gonna watch the same thing? Is gonna be they have to choose between the two, because the brands are very similar. One thing that you were right about, AEW will be bigger. They got more money. They're doing more things, and it's just they have a bigger push because it's a new object.
Well, that and they have the names. Like
They have the names, but it's just a bigger product right now. But my biggest thing right now, it raises a lot of questions for NXT. What is NXT now?
Well, now you got to create superstars.
But the thing is, it's another thing. Is this still development, or is this a legit a third brand? Because they haven't really explained that. When Hunter spoke, he was just like, yeah, this is great, blah, blah, blah. But nobody asked the question is like, is this going to be a developmental league again? Like it was, like it always has been. And people moving to the main roster. Are this going to be a third brand, a third world in the WWE universe? What the other question is, okay, are these stars moving to the main roster? Are they staying on NXT? Are they going to continue to be the main guys on NXT? Gargano hasn't left, and he's put a little promo out. He's like, "Yo, hey, I'm staying here. I'm staying here." And that was always his goal. He said of making NXT bigger. Does Shayna Baszler leave? Do your top guys leave and go to the main roster, or do you treat it like we just said, the third brand? Mm-hmm. And what happened when they had a third brand? ECW.
Well, it wasn't so much like. See, the thing is, I feel like with ECW was more of an acquired.
Yeah,
just
but
like WCW was more of an acquired. Like this is more of like a home
created
brand.
I understand that, but you still gotta raise eyebrows on the situation.
I mean,
it's a wait and see situation. The whole thing, because look at it. It's like, what do you do now, and how are you gonna push it? Because you're moving from an hour to 2 hours.
Thank God.
Which is fine, but are you gonna get selfish? With
like
time.
What? Well,
are you gonna keep the same people on? Because it's all about making stars, like you said.
Yeah. What do you little tidbit?
I mean, like I said before, with the whole and AEW, who you rather see, like a Adam Cole that's tame, or a
I don't think
Adam Cole's not tame though on NXT.
I don't feel that way. Like I feel like if you look back at Takeover Toronto, just even like 2 weeks ago, I think that Gargano and
Let me finish
Cole.
my point.
Okay, but I'm just saying I don't think what you're saying is all the way right.
Again, you're gonna get someone to water down. It's called a WWE style for a reason, right? Like you're gonna get a tag team match. Like the same tag team match in WWE style or AEW, you may get more of a high flying. You get more variety on the one show.
But I feel like NXT has those different variables.
Listen. Be honest. Be very honest.
But
those you think Havoc? What's his name? Johnny Havoc. Jimmy Havoc could be Jimmy Havoc NXT.
But he's not.
Answer the question. Can Jimmy Havoc be Jimmy Havoc NXT?
I would never see Jimmy Havoc in NXT though.
The brand.
Do not avoid the question by making another statement.
No, I'm just saying.
Jimmy Havoc could not be on NXT, and I will say the reason why, because it doesn't fix the NXT brand.
So,
but hold on, because you said your point. AEW is going to be watered down a little bit too, because Khan, when he spoke about the headshot on the last pay-per-view that Cody took, he was shaking in his boots like, nah, we ain't gonna see that blood on the schedule on a regular scheduled program. We ain't seeing that. The thing about it, and I understand what you're saying, that watered down concept you keep saying.
I'm not done.
But let me. So go ahead.
Well, stop moving the mic like that.
Like I said before, you're like, can Jimmy Havoc be Jimmy Havoc NXT?
It's not the same brand. So go ahead. Next question.
Avoiding the question by saying something else.
I said no.
No.
Okay,
like
Jimmy Havoc can be Jimmy Havoc. So why do I want my guy that I've been watching for years get watered down? Like someone went watered down.
He doesn't fit that brand.
So like again, this is why AEW has that edge, because that different variety of wrestlers, different variety show. Like
AEW has the edge because of the talent that they have.
That's my opinion. You have your opinion.
No,
okay. My point. My point. You just proved my point right. You just basically said that they have different variety of characters.
No. That's not what I said.
What you said?
I said that AEW has a slight edge because
they have bigger star power
of the names that they have on board. Like, it's not about in terms of talent, because honestly speaking, NXT has always been the alternative to WWE, because if you wanted that more indie kind of feel, you would watch NXT. You would watch those guys on that brand. So it's not terms of different styles of wrestling. Like, even if you look at the ladder match,
I didn't say different style of wrestling. I said you get a more variety show.
But the thing is, though, the
Variety
reason why AEW will be ahead. the brand is bigger. The brand is stronger. You have Kenny Omega, one of the biggest indie guys in the world, on
But
their
that's
team.
not my point.
But hold
my
on, hold
point
on.
was like my direction I'm going with. And not one time I mentioned the star power.
Then what is?
You're not listening.
Okay.
It's a more variety. Like for example, like you're gonna expect you watching and WWE. You're not gonna see Dean Ambrose. You're gonna see John Moxley. A variety. Then on the next segment, you're gonna see probably 2 different tag teams, but it'll be different style of tag team, different flow.
I understand. I understand what he's saying. I understand what he's saying.
Now NXT is just like a little bit of a vamp up version of WWE, but yet in NXT you don't get the guys who's still developing, the guys who's not really established, still trying to get their feet wet in NXT. Compared to AEW, you got these guys that their training is they've been developing their skills a little bit more in the indies. They're getting the best of the best within the indies. So you may get a guy that he just fresh from college. He's doing this wrestling thing. He don't have much wrestling but WWE product, WWE style. Now, when I watch AEW, these guys came from WWE, came from all the different world to have a different style, put on a different match, a different storytelling, a different camera view than compared to WWE. It's a different style, you get a different variety show. NXT, you only get a WWE style. And you got a lot of wrestlers, it's WWE style. You got wrestlers a certain way, this, that, a third.
Okay, I see what your point is on that one. Now, let me do a slight rebuttal on that one. First things first, a lot of the guys that's going to come to AEW, you're going to have to change their style. It's a whole different way of wrestling on the indies than wrestling on TV. Because that hard cam is not in front of it's not in front of the audience. It's right behind you when you come in half the time. So that style has to change to adjust. AEW has a lot of guys who are indie people who don't know how to wrestle in front of a camera. So they're going to have to come up with their own style, AEW style. And that is an alternative from WWE. NXT is very indie. It's modern wrestling. It's not completely indie, as you said, but it's modern wrestling. Because I remember the day that Billy Gunn event that we did, when Billy Gunn was watching that NXT TakeOver event, he was like, what the fuck? When he was watching Adam Cole and Gargano go at it, he was like, holy shit. Because of how they were moving. Yes, you have a point, because WWE is like McDonald's. They put something here. This is what we're doing here. Then the UK, they do something here. But at the same time, NXT is a lot different from WWE when it comes to that in-ring work. There's a whole different type of storytelling that's being done there. And it's not the same thing, because you are right. It is different from AEW. But AEW hasn't come up with their own style yet, and they will. And one thing that the Bucks did tell me when I did meet them, they want different. And that's the one thing you hit on the nail. It is about difference. They're about being different. NXT is in the middle. It's in the middle of WWE and AEW when it comes to like variety. But at the same time, they're very similar. Because guys who are the top at WWE NXT are indie darlings. Darlings. And I'm going to say it one more time. Darlings. So you don't downplay brothers who are the top game at NXT. Mia Yim, Adam Cole, Gargano, and the list goes on. Shayna Baszler been around the block a few times. Because she was out here fucking bitches up in Shimmer.
I thought she was going to say something else. I was like, you want to tell us a story?
Oh, no. But I get what you're saying, that the AEW is different, but it's going to be, it's still, they're still playing the same ball game. They're still playing the same ball game, and their fan base is very similar. So it's going to be fun. But like I said before, to clean up my point, there are still questions being raised of what exactly are you doing now? Where is this brand exactly going? And I'm willing to watch because it's going to be fun.
Yeah, we got to low-key change the fucking date.
Oh, yeah, we're moving to Thursdays on this fall.
I feel like SmackDown now. Like, shit is wild. Like, it's like, damn. Like, at first, I was like, oh, AEW on Wednesday. I can catch that later. But then I was like, fuck, both of them on Wednesdays? Oh, damn. And then how the fuck we going to report that shit a whole week later? Like, we can't be late on the info. The fuck is that about? I mean, I understand both sides. I just think, once again, AEW has the more established team.
Of course.
On like their main, they're like their top 6 is more.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Faye Jackson here. And before I officially start my vacation, I just wanted to let you know that August 31st, Jobber Tears podcast has not only invited myself, but my day one Tasha Steele to host a viewing party for All Out on August 31st. So, not only will I be there, not wearing this, but I will be there. My girl Tasha Steele will be there. We're going to have a good old time. And, me and my sis like to get a little petty. So we're going to call this All Out and Petty. I'm sorry, Jobber Tears podcast, but y'all have been officially taken over. See you August 31st.
Their top 6 is more established than any top 6 on NXT. And that's just going to be what it is.
Blows them out the water.
Yeah, like Jericho alone takes everyone out of the water in NXT. But I feel like it's just going to be a really good time to be a wrestling fan right now because you have so many different options. It's like Baskin Robbins out here in these streets. But we're going to move right along to the XFL. As everyone knows, the XFL will be debuting.
Are you ready for some football?
Will be debuting the week after the Super Bowl, so late February 2020. And, once again, they announced this. They started off announcing the cities and where they were going to be hosting. But now announced today were the team names. So I'm going to run them down. So we have the St. Louis Battlehawks, the Tampa Bay Vipers, the New York Guardians. Shout outs to the New York Guardians. We have the Seattle Dragons. We have the Los Angeles Wildcats, the DC Defenders, the Houston Roughnecks, which I think is super problematic, but that's whatever. And then the Dallas Renegades. And once again, an XFL.
DC Roughnecks?
Yep. No, the Houston Roughnecks.
Oh, so Texas has 2 teams.
Yeah, Texas has 2. St. Louis, Tampa, New York, Seattle, and LA and DC. And they're going to be using a combination of football stadiums and soccer stadiums and things around that nature to play games. And the schedule should be out sometime in mid-October. Facts. Like the first, low-key going to try to go to the first game.
Tickets going to be cheap.
Super duper cheap. But the XFL president and COO, Jeff Polak, stated that the XFL will be about football and fun, and our team identities are intended to signify just that. Now it is up to our fans and players to help write the story. So my question to you gentlemen is, what are some of the pros and cons to XFL coming and relaunching itself? I mean, once again, it's football season ends. I know I'm super duper depressed. Like, fuck, I gotta wait till August for preseason, then the season starts September.
You do fantasy football?
But I low-key want to this year. You want to do it?
He's really good at it.
Really?
He's really good at it.
Whoa. Let's talk about that off camera. I wanted to because some people started a fantasy league and then didn't include anybody. So I'm super duper interested in doing a fantasy league.
That was a little problematic.
It's never problematic on this side of town.
That was a little problematic on that one.
But anyway, I'm excited to know you like football, fantasy football.
Fantasy football. Like,
he's really good.
Damn.
I get high and do it. Like last year I almost won, but last year
it was my favorite. Like one of my favorite shows on FX was The League.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was so mad when it ended because it was so dope because it reminded me like how I am with you guys. Like how I'm the only female typically like in the bunch, and the guy's wife was like the only female like that had her own team and fucking won and stuff like that. So I fucking missed that show. But my question to the table once again is, what are some of the pros and cons to the XFL relaunching, and what are you most excited, if anything, what are you most excited about it?
I mean, there's no cons at this point, though. It's just like it's all or nothing. Like, you messed up, you learn from it. Now, a lot of pros from it, the NFL is going to get better. It's competition, meaning that y'all can't mess up now. And as the time will get better, they're going to get bigger, they're going to get better production, and there's no expectation for them. Everybody thought it was going to fail. At this point, it's going to prove your haters wrong. Mm-hmm. It's a different time. Maybe they might do something different. Because honestly, though, Arena football was hot, though, for a good minute. Like, even had a video game, Arena Football League, it was kind of tough, though. And that's where a lot of some of the great people come there, such as my son, Kirk Warner. He came into there after he got cut by the Packers. By the way, that's my favorite player. And he got cut by the Packers.
What's your favorite team?
New York Giants.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Because we got another person to my right that's a fucking Philadelphia Eagles
I'm a
fan.
diehard New York Giants fan.
But
I've been a fan
neither
ever
here nor
since.
there.
I was a fan since Eli first got on the team. So I just been a fan since then. And I was
Okay.
there for the 2 Super Bowl rings. I was the only one. I said Giants. He was like, they're not gonna win. I was like, watch. They won twice. 2 hours again.
So I'm going to need you to put that energy into the atmosphere so we can win this year.
I mean, I don't know
Thank
about
you.
this
I don't
year.
winning shit this
But
year.
Listen,
Shit.
I will pray if we even get wild
nah,
card.
though. Like I could tell
Because that's
that.
how they won the ring the second
Not
time.
before the
Right.
Eagles.
Wild card.
But
Now,
Whatever.
Now I feel about XFL is just like, what's worse that could happen? If I don't like it, I just turn it off.
I mean, I like the fact that it's not cold. Like, I can legit sit and enjoy football, like, outside, and it be spring.
I mean,
it won't be too hot.
I mean, if they let you smoke, it might be lit.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Sir Wilkins, your thoughts, pros and cons to the XFL.
one thing I will agree with you on, there aren't really any cons
No.
for this situation. I love what they're doing. They're taking their time with it.
Yes.
Because remember when he talked about it, wasn't it like 3 years ago?
It was about maybe a year and a half ago. And
No, it was 2 solid years ago.
Yeah.
It was 2 solid years ago, and not 3. I apologize. It was like 2 solid years ago, and we knew nothing after that.
Yeah, it got
Like,
quiet.
It got quiet, but they were doing rumblings behind the scenes, and then I'm watching The Herd the other day, like about a week ago, and they were legit going through a draft to pick their starting quarterbacks.
Yeah.
For every team. Like, it's about taking their time, and they were doing like, I think you only need like maybe 2 years of college. I could be wrong. Fact check me, somebody. You just need 2 years of college. Then they're doing another type of situation to get players after that. But they're taking their time with the situation. Yeah.
It gives me Big 3 vibes.
Yeah, and that's
To
exactly
be
what I thought.
honest.
And it's an alternative, and it's like, yo, who are you competing with?
Nobody.
Because the other alternative football league just collapsed.
It went bankrupt or some shit. It just stopped.
It went collapsed, and it's like,
Stop kicking me.
it was
I'm
just
not
like,
kicking
yo,
Oh, somebody's kicking me.
it was like, yo, it's not during football time.
No.
There's enough sports networks who need, like, if you ever watch ESPN during the summer,
Smash chicken.
yo, no, it's nothing going on.
I mean, besides baseball.
No, there's nothing going on. Like, I'm talking about July, in the middle of July, because that's not playoff time for baseball.
Well, no, they're getting closer to either All Stars happening or closer to All Star.
But the thing about it, it's nothing exciting, because they start making up stories.
Oh, and fucking soccer.
Once again, in American sports
Oh,
television,
just
It depends. It depends. If it's around FIFA, like they go hard. Especially for basketball,
but the thing
USA
is-
basketball, they go hard.
but the thing is, it's not super exciting because
It's-
USA
yeah.
busts everybody's ass in the world.
And on top of that,
Clearly.
WNBA is not as.
It's not exciting either.
They don't let them fight
So FIFA,
and talk trash.
you saw what happened to Brittany Grinder?
No, what happened?
Son!
What happened? Get through pasta. What happened?
So she is going off subject. She got into a fight at a WNBA game. Speaking, you just mentioned that. And
Did she knock out this bitch?
no, Shorty wanted no parts. Shorty
She wanted
legit
no
ran.
smoke. Oh, she ran.
She ran. And then
Yeah,
her
this on
homegirl tried to jump in, and then
on
she
YouTube?
ran too. Because Brittany Griner's big.
Niggas is out here running.
No.
What's going on here?
She big.
Brittany Griner can knock somebody out.
She wears a strap on while she play ball.
Whoa, that's not true.
I think she does.
What the fuck?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Y'all can't be spreading propaganda.
Yo, listen, WNBA needs ratings anyway, so I want niggas to sign
You
on.
said
She
Brittany
got
what?
Grinder.
First of all, that sounds like a porno name.
But she
big.
walloped Shorty. She was like, nah, and Shorty ran. Shorty dead ran. Like she did the back pedal, like, yo. I ain't
She
trying
ain't
to
want
be,
no smoke.
I ain't trying to be with the beef. Because Brittany's mad big. But go back to XFL. Yo, it's during the, like
During
you
the
said,
summer.
it's during the summertime.
And they don't even cover nothing.
In the summertime, there's nothing being covered. They make up stories on ESPN half the time.
I'm mad you said they make up story.
Because they have nothing to cover.
They
And you
don't
put
have to
the
cover,
XFL, it gives a great
I
alternative.
miss- oh, she's a tall Amazon.
Yo, she's like 7 foot.
Yeah.
Who's fucking
And she
that?
a thug.
That's
Her wife is beautiful though. Shout out to Brittany's wife, son. She beautiful. No disrespect.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You see?
You see?
Uh-oh. She wants to go toe to toe.
Oh nah.
Oh!
See that? Grinder don't play. Grinder
She
thug.
mushed that. First of all, I feel bad for the ref. The ref in the dead middle, like, oh, he tiny as fuck.
Grinder don't play that.
She mushed her in her face.
Grinder don't play that, bro. Grinder a thug.
See them dreads?
Grinder a thug.
Yup. She getting thrown out. Yo, she mushed the fuck out of her.
Yeah,
Like,
Grinder don't play. So you have a WNBA with no fights because Grinder don't be fighting
sorry,
all the
guys, I
time.
had to figure
There's
this out.
no fights. They don't dunk. So
Oh, they don't dunk? Oh, okay.
no, like except for like 5 girls could dunk, but that's against the rules. So they do
It's against
That's not against the rules,
rules?
is it?
they do layup competitions in the All-Star break.
Shut the fuck up.
They do like whirlwind
Yo,
stuff like that.
yo, you lying, son, because
Yo,
they don't.
shut
I don't
up.
think they even have an
I don't
All-Star
even-
game.
No, they do.
Yeah.
They have an
Where?
All-Star
Yeah.
weekend in Vegas.
Yeah,
They do. That I know.
Who shows up?
They do a layup
Man,
competition.
yo, because I forgot who. I had a friend of mine. She was in Vegas for work.
And what's the competition?
And
layup
legit,
line.
she was like, "Yo, everybody was in town because it was WNBA All Star Weekend."
Listen,
it's like what?
it's
Because
layup
it's
competition.
Vegas.
Yes.
Everybody goes to Vegas.
Yes.
No, but it was
no.
everybody was there
Nah,
for the All Star Weekend.
They were not there for All Star
Yo,
Weekend.
No, I'm dead
Nobody
ass.
watch WNBA.
Nobody
they don't
watches
fight.
WNBA.
They don't dunk
No,
on
really
niggas, so it's whack.
It's like watching your kids play with highly skilled kids. Because they're
Yeah.
all
Tall
fundamentals.
bitches.
They're all
Yeah.
fundamentals.
That shit is
no
wild.
disrespect, because a
They
9 out of
nice.
10, I'm pretty sure all of them can bust my ass.
They nice.
Pretty
They nice.
sure this big bitch
Oh, Brittany's
yeah,
dunking
yeah,
on me.
fuck out.
Brittany put me work.
taking
But
you
I'm
the
just
fuck
saying,
out.
nobody watches
Yeah,
WNBA.
yeah.
But people are going to watch the XFL. Just to
Yeah,
bring
no,
it back.
I'm super excited. Yeah, I was gonna say people bring it all back, but I mean, side note, Ballers start Sunday. I gotta watch the last season because I stopped watching.
Me too. I stopped watching it.
I don't know what it was.
I stopped watching it after they bought, like, when the guy was trying to buy back the
the
sport.
company.
Yeah, and I just stopped watching
and
it.
I
yeah.
don't know what made me. I was
Yeah.
just like,
I watched it all.
can't.
I watched
So
it all.
I'm gonna try to binge
Me too.
this weekend
Matter of fact-
because it comes on the fucking same. Who the
I don't watch
fuck
Power.
decided to put Power and Ballers on at the same
50?
fucking day?
50?
I don't-
God damn it.
I don't watch Power, so I'll be watching Ballers.
What they
I don't watch
say
Power
it's
either.
a big rich town? No.
I don't watch Power
Yeah.
either.
What?
My mom loves
Oh
Power.
my God! Can you guys listen? Can you just watch the first
No.
episode of this season?
My
It's the
home-
last season.
My homegirl Catherine
Just
kept telling me to
watch-
try to watch. She's like,
Yo,
you should watch it. You should
just
catch
watch
up on
it.
it. I was like, nah, ma.
No, just watch the first episode. Shout outs to Will and Love Story. They are showing Power at Love Story Bar on Sunday night.
You going?
Hell yeah, I'm
might be mad
going because
ratchet
I
again.
ain't got stars and I ain't adding that shit for $9 extra a month on Sling for fucking 16
I think I might
weeks.
go. I think I might
Come
go.
on through, everyone. But no, watch the first. Just humor me. One episode. That's all
might
I
not watch
ask.
it. It might be hood niggas there.
I mean, you can smoke in the back.
Can I watch TV in the back?
Well, the TV I think will be downstairs, like the downstairs area where
I've never
we were
been
gonna do-
downstairs.
I love
Yes,
his,
you
I love his
did.
boneless wings.
Shout out to you. I got people to smoke with.
I think anyone could be valid to smoke with.
Snowfall is my shit.
Yo, I want to try to get into that.
Snowfall is so good.
Um,
It comes on tonight, and I usually just go home and watch it,
Yo, what the fuck was the name of that show?
and that's it.
Um,
And I watch 90 Day Fiance. Sometimes I'll be watching it with Jess. Sometimes.
yo, because I'm telling you that episode, like when I told you about how Chantel and Pedro had their own show,
Yeah.
they just had that episode of them. They had some like family like retreat type of thing. And like Pedro kind of got like really, really sad because, you know, he talked about how he never had a dad growing up. And like if he felt like if he had a dad, then he would have been a baseball star because his mom was a single parent. So the mom worked whenever he like practice, so he could never go to baseball practice. So he's like, I never made it pro, or I never had the opportunity because my mom always had to work. And I was like, damn, like, but he was like really sad about that shit. Like I was like, oh, shit,
It's not depressing.
yeah, super sad. But we're gonna move right along. So as we talked about the XFL, it is taking much time from Vincent Kennedy McMahon off of WWE. So the question is Vince stepping down? So over the last few months, WWE management has undergone significant changes, such as adding Paul Heyman, Eric Bischoff on executive directors for Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live. and that there's even some available to take share of leadership and creativity from McMahon. So reports said that this past Monday, Vince was not there. Mm-hmm. He was preparing for today's press conference of the XFL teams being released. And I'm pretty sure everyone enjoyed Raw this past week. And then one source suggests that, once again, Vince taking a step back could be because Vince trusts Paul Heyman, which, I think you can really see. And, their relationship, if you kind of even look back in time, like, even though they had a really, really big falling out, I think there's a certain level of respect, I think, between the two of them. And I think Vince definitely trusts him on a different level. And then, of course, Triple H with NXT. So my question to you, gentlemen, is how valuable is Vince McMahon's to the current state of wrestling? Like, a lot of people are like, Vince is out of touch. He's old. He doesn't know. But then there are certain, points that I personally feel like we don't kind of give Vince enough credit sometimes with certain things. So
like
just in general, certain creative, twists and turns sometimes. Like, once again, it's that whole, like, throwing shit on the wall, see if it sticks kind of thing. But I just feel like that's kind of like life in general. And I just feel like Vince, putting certain people.
This podcast in general?
We just do whatever the fuck we want and see what the fuck happens half the time. And it works. So, but I feel like with Vince, definitely putting certain people in power and position to kind of just, slowly so he can kind of focus on XFL, kind of like he is getting a bit older. We can't put him in a bubble and keep him alive forever. So, just certain things that are changing. But how valuable do you think Vince McMahon is still to the current state of wrestling? Don't go all at once.
You have to understand, the dude created sports entertainment. You can't take that away from him. True. He will always have a value to wrestling. Mm-hmm. And people will shit on him talking about he's he doesn't know anything, blah blah blah. He does know something. Mm-hmm. He knows business. He knows how to make money. And I'm pretty sure he was involved in that NXT getting $50 million a year from fucking USA.
From USA.
Like, that says a lot. Maybe Triple H was part of that deal, whatever, but there's a respect that he has on he has. Mm-hmm. And granted, he ain't perfect. We all know that. But what I've heard about him, he's willing to work with people. He will adjust. And he will change certain things. Because I remember when Real Life Cast talked about his time at WWE, he spoke like, yo, Vince was cool. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to value, his value, granted, is not that high. You know what he is? He's that vet on your team. He's like Kobe in like his second to last year. Yeah, he's not going to put up 20 to 30 points, but him being around as a presence,
right,
as a certain prestige and a certain leadership quality that I don't think anybody has that Vince has. Maybe Triple H has it, maybe Stephanie has, but they don't have it yet. Because you got to think about it. There's been multiple times WWE was supposed to go under. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, maybe like 4 or 5 times he was supposed to go under, and they didn't. That's leadership quality. Granted, he got to change a couple things up, and I'm not going to sit here and say he's perfect, but the dude made wrestling to what it is today, and he knows talent. That's why he put Paul in place,
right?
And he put Eric where he needs to be, which is not the creative control, but is the liaison between Fox and WWE. Mm-hmm. That's important. Vince is still the man, B. He might be 2 years out of retirement, but he's still a man. He can still give you 10, 15, and a couple of assists. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna do no crazy numbers.
It goes back to, and then you'll take the mic, but one thing that kind of like not triggered me, but one thing that stuck out to me was if you watch, I do believe it's Kurt Angle's 24 on the WWE Network, and they show Kurt's kind of like comeback to the WWE, him being inducted and everything, and they follow Kurt and they show, they don't show the entire kind of conversation Kurt and Vince had, but you can legit, like, the shot that was there was literally Vince and Kurt hugging, and literally Vince in tears, like literally, and like Kurt coming out of the office saying like, I don't think I would have ever stepped back if, you know, I didn't get the call from Vince or I didn't talk to Vince.
Because that's power.
And I just feel like it's power, and once again, it's a level of respect. It's a level of trust. It's a level of like, because I think certain guys see Vince as that father figure.
But it's also, there's a certain, we'll get to you, Mr. Black, but there's a certain level of prestige of how do you speak. Like, Moxley was complaining about WWE, right? Mm-hmm. In all honesty, he had great points about it. But he was like, yo, you step into Vince's office, he Jedi mind tricks the shit out of you. Next thing you know, you do what the fuck he tell. There's a level of power that a very few people have. Mm-hmm. And he gets shit done. Even if you don't like it or not.
Right, you're not gonna like everything.
That's legendary.
But Mr. Black, what are your thoughts? How valuable is Vince McMahon to the current state of wrestling?
I mean, he only value to it because he started. I mean, he didn't start, but he took over from his dad. Well, he did. Like his version of WWE, how he brought it from where his dad wanted until now, is legendary. But at some point, it's just like I'll never attack him as a person because I don't know him personally. Mm-hmm. But him as creative, like he definitely stalled a lot of people's development. Like people no longer like wrestling after that. You understand? As far as his creative side, I question it a lot of times. Like I feel like he is out of touch creatively. But as far as interpersonal level, he's probably the great guy. And sometimes it's all about how you approach these people who's in power. Like if you come off like a pushover, he's gonna treat you like a pushover. Real life Cass said at an interview. But if you stand your ground, all right, this is what it is, this, that, the third. Boom. Some people actually go to WWE. It's just like, this is a job paying me high. So the mentality is I'll try to get this money. Compared to somebody who goes in there and says, like, this is my craft, this is something I do, this is something I develop over the years. I'm going to challenge you. So maybe WWE is not for everybody. It is not for everybody, but it's the standpoint of some people, you need that certain trust from Vince.
Yeah. And
this is why I feel like wrestling, comparing who's at the top 50, is kind of like fickle because Vince made the decision who was the best. You understand? And sometimes, like, he pushed people down throats. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't work. So when it comes down to that, I kind of see Vince as the guy where, like, yo, your ideas worked in this era. Your comedy worked in this era. Yeah, some of your comedy may transition well in this current time, but funny is funny. Good is good in any era. But some of the stuff you did was not that great. For example, how you going to punish Zack Ryder for getting himself over on YouTube?
Yo, you and this bond that you have with Zack Ryder, I think is the funniest thing in the world.
But you have to understand,
he's right,
you have to understand, Zack Ryder beat cancer.
Okay.
So
did Roman.
No. Zack Ryder beat cancer while he was in New York. Like, I can't relate to Roman.
Wow.
What?
He's not from New York.
Wow.
So you're going to downplay a nigga because he's from the state that he's from?
And you know what's crazy? I would be the last person to say what I just said. So I'm just like,
I mean, I'm just saying,
nigga.
you know, like.
No, we're not downplaying.
I'm not downplaying Roman's cancer.
You
but
just did. You said, nah, B. He ain't from New York.
Nah, my
have to
nigga.
understand,
He never had treatment in Jamaica Center.
He never had a bacon, egg, and cheese. He never had a bacon, egg, and cheese
like
from
my
the
nigga
cart.
never ran. He never ran for the train and held the door on the MTA train. Like
exactly.
You just did.
So nevertheless, though, you punish a guy like that for getting over, or how you certain, like you're embarrassed. Like the way I saw Dean Ambrose. You know, shout out to him. What if he is? I hope he's doing wonderful things. And like, what?
You know where he is.
No, I don't.
You don't know where Dean Ambrose is?
Nobody
No.
knows where he is. Do you know where he is? You sleep
Oh
with
my
him?
God, I can't.
No.
Pause.
Only Renee knows
Pretty
it.
sure
Yeah.
he's married.
Yeah, I don't.
All right,
like,
y'all.
Dean Ambrose
This
is
is what we're
married, but
doing
John
today.
Moxley's not married.
John Moxley is definitely married.
He never mentioned it, so I can't say.
I never
he's
seen
married.
John Moxley and Dean
Yeah.
Ambrose in the same room.
Me either.
Wow.
Me
This
either.
is what we're doing.
Yeah, and like
Okay.
like John Moxley just came out of nowhere.
Cool
Obviously
story.
from prison.
Yeah. Well, first of all, y'all made you. Y'all legit has made John Moxley like the Shockmaster. Like it is by far the funniest thing that every single week y'all do to me, and I just be like,
Yeah,
Whatever.
because John Moxley came out of nowhere, out of prison. I heard.
He broke out of
Yeah,
prison.
he burst out of prison.
Shockmaster style.
No, he didn't. The Shockmaster fell.
Yeah.
Made a fool of
Yeah,
himself.
made a
No,
fool.
but he came out. He popped out of nowhere.
No, but John
So
Moxley.
that's how
out
y'all
of
made
nowhere.
it seem like.
Yeah.
But anyway, go
But
ahead.
nevertheless, though, like
finish
certain people, like that's the example. John Moxley is Dean Ambrose is the artist. He's the artist, and he takes his craft as far as like creatively. It's
Tire
not about
match?
the money. Now, somebody like MVP, he was in WWE for a lot of times, like made a lot of money. That was his mindset. In WWE, he mentioned it a lot of times. So again, it all depends. Again, like to sum it up, Vince is good for a certain aspect of the business.
Okay.
And he's like my brother said, he's a veteran that could lock up your best player and give wisdom to the young guys. Like, yo, da 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 da. This may work. Blah 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 blah. All right, cool. Thanks, Jordan. Thanks for this. But a lot of times it's just like another time looking like, really, Jordan? Like you signed this guy instead of just trying to keep what's his name? What's that dude from the Bronx? He played for the Celtics now.
Kemba
Kemba.
Kemba Walker, like really? You didn't surround Kemba Walker with a better talent, like really, guy? But then another times,
Oh, but Kemba wanted the fuck out of
right?
Charlotte,
But
so
another
that's
times he
weird.
did a good team with like getting Captain Jack, getting Larry Brown, created that system where like they went to the play with a gritty team. But then other times look like what the hell?
But see, you gotta have the thing. I think, and we'll move right along. I think the thing at the end of the day is having all the right pieces, and once again, knowing that WWE is not for everyone.
Yeah.
Those pieces aren't just for that product, and it could work in a different.
Right. But nevertheless, though, it's just like people gotta learn. Like it's all about knowing yourself too, you know. And I think like definitely this is why the Briscoes,
Briscoes?
the Briscoe brothers won't go to WWE because they understand that this ain't for them. You understand? Never say never, though.
Never say
but
never, because I
no,
told
but,
you I still get shocked. AJ be on fucking
but
TV.
as of
Like,
right
the
now,
fuck?
like the Briscoes, like the
Briscoes.
the Briscoes, you're not gonna see them because they said that this is not something they want to do. This is not the direction they want to take their character. They're gonna be limited.
This is random. Two things. One, this might help Vince because he's stepping away.
Yeah.
That he can see the bigger picture because you know he's in that little bubble.
Yeah.
So he might see the bigger picture once again and might understand things a little bit differently. But randomly, with NXT going to 2 hours, your prediction about LAX coming to NXT might happen. Just a random thought because
My gut, I'm telling you, I don't know what it is.
Think about it. NXT was like we talked about, is that question that we've been raising is like, what are they now? They're developmental.
Toes.
Are they going to be a
different
brand?
brand?
Like they didn't fully. They said something, but they haven't fully answered any questions.
I need you to talk to the mic
But
again.
having LAX, that conversation might have happened. Like, yo, listen, we're about to go to 2 hours. We're gonna be on a nationally syndicated channel.
And you don't have to travel as much.
You don't have to travel as much. You'll be stationed in
Orlando.
They can still go to New York.
Or you can stay at home and fly in to work.
To work.
Yeah.
And the thing about, we're not going to be as developmental, I'm just assuming.
I don't think they are.
As we were before. And we need a tag division.
To them,
And we need a tag division.
True.
So is this a random thought?
Yeah,
I still think they might go to AEW, but that 2 hour shit that they just did right now and going to USA just changed the game for a lot of people.
And that's why I said them staying at Full Sail changes the game.
But I think they're going to change Full Sail in about a year or two.
No, I think
they're going to outgrow it.
But I think I like the fact that they staying home base and they're letting the product grow in that live TV atmosphere there, and then they can move along. Like I think automatically if they would have been like, oh, let's pack up our bags and let's move the show on the road and let's go to a different city every week. So now you're low key competing with fucking WWE and Raw and SmackDown, and now it's just like, oh fuck.
And,
like,
and that was the beauty about, they don't tour that much. They do house shows.
They do house shows
but it's
in
not
certain
as much.
areas, and they hit certain areas that WWE, like a Raw, SmackDown, would never go to.
Smaller areas,
or
smaller
like
rural
once
areas.
a year type of thing. So,
Right.
but I'm
And
just saying.
also, WWE in general, they are doing. I've said this I don't know if I said it to you. I don't know what group chat I said this in. The mere fact that house shows aren't selling as much, I'm telling you, next year is going to be another decline in house shows that they do.
But see, the issue with their house shows is that it's the areas they put it in. Like y'all really, and I get there are fans, but y'all really put in house shows in areas that you already know it's not gonna sell.
But smaller.
That shit don't make no
It's either
sense.
smaller venues, or they're gonna limit the time of house shows. Because I was talking about, also their booking shit is horrible. Their booking team, like I was telling the guys, and nobody was like, "No, the product is just trash."
Yeah, you can't say nothing in that.
Because hold on, they're not selling MSG in New York, right? When the fuck is it? Labor Day weekend.
No, it's a weekend.
No. It's the Monday, Tuesday. of Labor Day.
No, it's not. It's the weekend after.
Isn't it the week?
No, it's the weekend after.
When is Labor Day?
Next week.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, look it up.
September 2nd.
Look up Labor Day. Look up Labor Day.
I'm telling you.
Look up Labor
I'm
Day.
telling because I'm off.
Look
And that's why I did the party on the 1st. Labor Day is September the 2nd. Raw and SmackDown are the day after my birthday. So it's the
When's
8th,
Labor
it's
Day?
the 9th and the 10th.
It's not next week.
It is.
Next
it's
week?
No, it's the week after. Is what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
say that. Don't say next week.
it the
I
second?
said it's the 2nd.
But it's
That's
not next
when it
week.
is.
Is it the second?
Yeah, it's the second. Maybe
Thank
the
you.
second.
So when's the show?
The following week. It's the day after
So-
my birthday and the 10th.
I thought it was the 6th. I thought Labor Day was the 6th.
No, the reason why they're not selling out is just why
Then I was wrong. I was
the
wrong.
fucking,
I'll take
it's
that
the
one down.
first of all, it's the Garden. The tickets are more expensive. Like, and once again, it's a school night, so you got to keep in mind. But then once again, Raw and SmackDown has been on Monday, Tuesdays after SummerSlam, and kids, they were out of school, so it's a school
summer night.
So you got to understand that. You got to understand
And
that.
the second week is second week of school. A lot of people.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's a lot of factors, but at the
like
end
a
of the
lot
day, guess what? People
like
are
a lot
hit.
of people go to school. Maybe not the first week, but the second week. Everybody goes to school the
Regardless,
first week.
everyone is hip to the fact that guess what? If you waited to the day of, you could probably get a better ticket.
Okay, but
So-
that was wrong then about it. But I just think that they're gonna limit their house shows soon. They're gonna stop putting down their house shows.
I think so, but the main like reason why they do the house shows is to actually try out storylines.
That's always been the house. It's always been a reason. Why.
no,
It's
yeah,
been
but I
since
mean,
the beginning.
but that's like in a sense like you should limit it and you should
You should do smaller venues.
Yeah.
At this point, they should do smaller venues.
you should do cities that makes fucking sense.
Smaller venues, and also, in my opinion, like if it's not a big four, do a smaller venue.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing with Vince. He loves throwing his big
Yo,
dick
that
around.
NXT Takeover Go Home shows are about to be stupid lit. Like that, like them at Full Sail. I definitely think I'm gonna have to stay in Orlando for
But
the
Full Sail
extra
always
day.
sells out quickly.
Yeah, like
within minutes,
it's
I heard.
ridiculous. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Because my boy Alfred, so I thought my boy Alfred, he lives down there, and he was just like,
no, I know.
he said it legit is the hottest ticket in the town.
For weeks it will sell out. But let's move on to the tweet of the week. The last.
I don't know why you
topic,
put this on.
because I thought it was hilarious. Well, that and I didn't get to see the fucking fight the UFC for this past weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Where he got knocked the fuck out. DC got knocked out this weekend if you guys did not watch it. But the tweet of the week goes to John Bones Jones, where he said, and I quote,
Bone Jones.
Brock is way too slow. I'll embarrass him. So, according to former WWE superstar and Hall of Famer Kurt Angle, he said a fight that could potentially lure Brock Lesnar out of MMA's retirement and back into the octagon would be a heavyweight showdown against the current light heavyweight champion John Bones Jones. But according to Bones, he said the former UFC heavyweight champion does not really want the smoke, and that he's just chirping to his friends and telling them what they want to hear. So
He's gonna get fucked up. Brock is getting fucked
the
up.
question to the table is: would you want to see
No.
Brock Lesnar
No.
versus John?
Great
Bones
ticket. It's a
Jones?
great ticket. It's a hot ticket. That's money for UFC. But Jones is fucking
And
him
if
up.
y'all ever book it in New York, please and thank you.
Brock
I
is
don't want to go
getting
to
fucked
Vegas.
up.
Nah.
Why?
Because he ain't black.
Wow.
No. We're not doing a race
Yeah,
war.
yeah.
but-
I was gonna say you definitely pulled the race card on that
No.
one.
So Jones is right. Brock is slow. Brock doesn't have Jones speed. Also, homeboy is the length, his arm length and his
fucking
and his
tall
legs
and lengthy.
are ridiculously long. The only
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the guy over there, he definitely reminds me of the manager at Legends every time he walks in the door.
He looks exactly like you, just thicker.
Damn.
Pause. But like the only way Brock would win, and this is like because I'm a fucking huge Mike Tyson fan, he would have to get in and grab him. That's the only way. And Jones is fast as fuck. Like fast as fuck.
I'm just
Like,
saying.
nah.
I mean, I agree with you. It's a hot ticket. So
It's a hot ticket.
And you know,
Great-
Dana be trying to be the Vince McMahon of the UFC. So you know, it could. You never know. What do you think about Mr. Black before we get into our Raw and SmackDown recap of this week?
Man, the only way that Brock's gonna
Please
beat
suck in
him
your
if he
little
takes
teeth at me.
steroids.
That's on both edges. But all right, we're gonna move.
No.
We're gonna move.
Jones got in trouble for that.
Jones been getting in coke, weed, you name it. He's probably done it.
That last situation with that girl, I knew that was bullshit when I read the article.
Oh, well, yeah. Certain things is just like, really?
No, I read the article and I was like, this is straight bullshit. Next.
Anyway.
And I think that you never heard about it again.
So we're going to go right along to our Raw and SmackDown WWE recap. We are coming off of SummerSlam weekend. Once again, shout outs to Peter Rosenberg and Stat Guy Greg for coming through, the legends, hosting, doing their podcast live. We're super duper appreciative.
Shout out to Stat Greg.
Who?
Stat guy Greg.
Stat Guy Greg, yeah.
Yeah, he's huge.
He's
Pause.
tall. Pause.
Same thing. I ain't
He started a whole revolution of people being blocked by Hogan.
Facts. And I'm all for it. I am here for the blockage of make that into a t-shirt. Block Hogan. But anyway, so we're coming off of SummerSlam weekend, and we're going
Randomly. I was listening to Hot 97. This is a Peter Rosenberg thing, and it was funny as hell. Cause you remember the Raw reunion shit?
Yeah, I was there.
And remember when Stone Cold came out right after Hogan spoke?
Yeah.
And Peter Rosenberg pointed out, but if you watch the video, you see the disappointment in Hogan's face. Like, look at, because the guys from 2020 podcast posted it.
Shout outs to them, and the team at 2020.
And I looked at it, I was like, yo, this is hilarious, because the torch was passed on without him doing it.
But that's because his ass left.
No. Yes.
The fuck?
Yes. But The Rock is on another spectrum. Like, he's on another.
Shout out to The Rock for getting married.
Yeah, shout out to him. He's on another spectrum of shit. But so he's kind of like in another world of like greatness.
Yeah, he's not in the wrestling world right now.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So Stone Cold is number one.
Yeah.
And
Stop messing with the mic like that.
Stone Cold's number one, but he is wrestling now.
Yeah, Stone Cold. Yeah.
For many years, up until like 20s, you can kind of give Hogan like, because the NWO,
Talking to the mic.
NWO of what he did in the earlier years, in the golden age of wrestling, and put wrestling mainstream type of shit, whatever. But that moment, I'm watching that shit, and I was like, yo, Stone Cold is wrestling now.
Because I'm telling you,
He got the hood up behind him.
What I'm telling you,
nobody was doing leg drops at the park.
Literally.
What black person you saw him doing
Because
a Hogan
that's a
leg
whack
drop?
ass move. That's why
And
I get. That's
you
why
saw
I
the
used to
black
get
people
tight.
hulking up.
Yo, I used to get tight when Nia fucking did that shit, and that was her fucking finisher. I was like,
Right.
sis, no.
No niggas in the hood
No.
was doing leg drops. Niggas was doing Stone Cold Stunner, put a middle
I ain't
finger.
gonna lie,
Pedigrees.
that's my finisher.
Exactly, Stone
What?
Cold
From the
Top
Stunner.
rope.
From the top rope.
Leg drop
Like
from
Amber
the-
Moon. Oh, the leg drop from the top rope.
It's gonna be my finisher.
You need
But that's not Hogan.
You need a new fucking finisher.
That's not Hogan, but that's not Hogan.
Doesn't
Wait,
matter.
wait, Hogan on the top rope.
Never, because he can't get up there.
Whoa. I don't fuck with Hogan. But I saw some old tape of him wrestling. That nigga know how to wrestle.
It probably was like
Did
1979.
No, it was against Randy.
But-
against Randy Savage. It was the first 10 seconds of a match. Y'all all fuck this nigga. But
Fuck him.
No.
he did some cheating. I was like, oh,
But-
this nigga know how to move.
When-
See, but you're seeing it
okay.
in a
I understand that,
different
but
viewpoint.
when do you ever see a Hogan do a super leg drop before?
No, never.
Exactly.
Not ever.
He never did a super leg drop because
But
that's not his
you
repertoire.
know why? Yo, he probably petty and mad. He was probably big mad because literally he was in his hometown. And when I tell you
The
that
ru-
pop,
I saw it on TV, and imagine
I
you being there.
felt that shit. Like it was just like, holy
hood
shit!
niggas.
Like it literally was like I told y'all, the biggest pop
Hood
was
niggas.
was
Hood
Austin.
niggas.
What about hood niggas? There's
Hood
no
niggas-
really hood niggas in Tampa. So what the fuck are you talking about?
In Tampa?
Yeah, Florida, man.
Tampa?
It's not Tallahassee.
Hold up.
It's not Jacksonville.
Florida in
it's
general.
Not Fort Lauderdale.
That water, it got crazy niggas
It's
there.
not
Crazy
Fort
niggas.
Lauderdale.
Hood niggas.
It's not. It's
But you are
No.
right. You are right. You know why he's right? Edge, Road Dogg told Edge this one thing.
I remember you telling me what it was. It was true.
When you as a wrestler get the brothers behind you, you are over.
And Edge got the brothers behind him because he slept with Lita
He was
on
smashing
screen.
bitches on TV.
On TV. But, like he said,
which is not a valid reason.
The hood was out here. Stone Cold studied people.
Exactly.
They had their
But
milk
the
in
hood
one
was
hand.
not in Tampa for Raw
Exactly.
25.
No,
Exactly.
the hood loves Stone Cold.
Love Stone Cold.
No, the hood loves Austin.
Everybody loves Stone Cold.
Like even the people that don't watch wrestling,
They know
when they
Austin.
see
Why think
Austin
the nation?
360,
Why think the nation is the most popular group? The hood niggas. Come
See,
on.
but the nation went through so many transitions that it was just like
There's only one nation we care about. There's only one nation we care about.
With The
That
Rock.
was The Rock.
Yeah.
For
All her niggas love them.
D-Lo.
Dang. Her niggas love sexual chocolate, B, and D-Lo.
Well, that's because there's big niggas that see themselves kind of like sexual chocolate. So the thing is, you want to see yourself. You want to relate to the character.
Right. The thing is, he lost. When that video came out of him saying that, people weren't fucking white, black, Spanish, Asian.
Exactly.
A great majority weren't fucking with
Exactly.
him, and people tried to defend it, and people were like, "Nah, we ain't fucking with him."
I ain't messing
Nah.
with her.
And that's what happened
we
because,
wasn't fucking with him
and that's
before
why,
this, so it doesn't
and
matter.
that's why when I talk about that giving the baton over to the next generation, he never got to do it because people just said, "Nah, we're not fucking with you."
Yeah.
And then they got rid of they wiped them clean from WWE.
Prime
And they
example.
brought him back.
Her niggas
Come
love
on.
John Cena.
Facts. Yo, let me tell you, I met, so shout outs to John, who came to the viewing party. Yo, I've never met a nigga that is so in love, pause, with John Cena. Like,
Hood niggas.
he legit, and he's a hood nigga on the low. But I've never, like, my nigga was like, yo, he sent me a fucking Insta story of him getting a custom made John Cena jersey.
Yes.
Like, I was just
Exactly.
like, yo, and I just thought it
Hood niggas.
tickled me. I was
'Cause
like,
you know
yo,
why?
you're the nigga that I would never even think. He
'Cause
was
you
like,
know
nah,
why?
that was the Thugonomics.
Exactly.
Like, fuck out of here. I was like,
that
whoa.
pop. Think about it. That pop when he came out.
Woo! Well, like you
Niggas
gotta
went crazy,
understand.
G.
The
That
thing
shit
is,
was hard.
the thing is, when you got the brothers,
Yep.
other people
And
that
the
don't,
sisters.
the other people
Relax
that,
yourselves.
and the thing about it, it's not even like black people. It's brown, Asian, whatever people that don't look like you
You get them
behind you. You on another level. You on another level.
Which is why I tell people always look at, they not question, but they try to down like water down Kofi. When you have white people in the crowd, front row,
doing boom,
doing
It was the-
SOS,
Yeah, SOS.
and asking
Yeah.
and doing and gyrating and saying pancake power and the power of positivity. I'm sitting here like,
Yeah.
oh nah, my man is
And on top of that,
over.
Coffee got the hood behind him.
The whole hood.
And the
is
thing about
behind
he's
you.
smiling.
Yeah.
He's smiling. And I don't care what
Like you can
nobody
see, yo,
says.
like literally, whenever you see either New Day or just Kofi himself come out, the energy just around the arena it changes. You have little kids excited. You have grown ass people excited. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you just gotta kind
And
of.
niggas is over.
And-
you know who else is over? You know who else is over?
What?
Buddy Murphy. My
But
man.
I've been saying about Buddy since
On Raw.
forever.
What? Excuse me?
Forever. I've been behind Buddy since he dropped that dead weight of his tag team partner in NXT. Came up.
I put you on to Birdie Murphy.
No, fuck out of here. I've been on
What?
Buddy Murphy.
Yo, son,
No.
I told you about 205. I've been talking about Buddy on Murphy
You
since
talked
205.
about 205 Live. I will give you that 100%. But I've always been a Buddy Murphy fan.
No. NXT was just Murph.
No, he wasn't just Murph. But anyway,
And then it was just Murph.
No, it wasn't.
At 205, he became Buddy.
He did not. He was Buddy Murphy.
No, he
Then,
was
now,
not. He
and
was just Murph.
forever. Fuck is wrong with you? Anyway,
Now,
one
On
up.
SmackDown, he's on the Buddy Murphy.
He's not. Shut up. Let's go around Robin for Raw. This week, one up, one down. Who wants to go first?
My up, which is nobody's gonna like. Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman win the tag.
Yo,
I
that
liked
shit-
it. I don't know
literally-
why. I
Yo,
liked it.
I don't either.
I
Like
liked
I
it.
legit. Yo, first of all, when the shit hit, when he did it, the count, the referee did 1, 2, 3. I said, I paused. I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, they the tag team champions.
Yeah.
It gave me visions of when Austin, I think it was Austin and Taker fucking won the tag team titles. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, yo, what in the fuck? Because I already know y'all niggas is gonna turn Braun way over heel and they gonna cost him the title. I already know how that's gonna play out. But it just was the fact that they actually went through with it. Like I didn't even think, like I was just like, oh, they're gonna give him a tag title match and Braun's gonna end up screwing him in that match. But they didn't. They gave them the fucking titles. Then they had a fucking photo shoot. I was like, oh,
Nah,
shit
it
is
was
wild.
good, and I have no other downs. I'm gonna go quickly and do my another up because I didn't have a down.
Sure.
I really enjoyed the revival and New Day.
Yeah. That's good.
That was a good
They
segment.
like pairing Randall with people.
No, but
I
it was
see
it
what
was
they
a, it was a
doing.
good segment
Oh yeah.
because it showed like heel shit.
You have to understand,
Like
Randy
classic-
fits better in the faction.
Yeah,
I don't disagree with that at all.
like
Actually,
it showed like Randy as a heel is really good. He's okay as a face. I'll never say he loves being a heel because he loves being a heel.
because that's really him. Like people like being who they are.
Yeah, so I
Sorry,
really
not
enjoyed
sorry.
that. And then shout out to Xavier Woods
Selling
Selling
the
the
fuck
shit
out of
out of
that
that knee hit.
shit.
Yeah.
Like
because he was hollering.
hollering. Like you can hear him down the block hollering.
That was
And
good.
that's the one thing I always feel like we don't give people credit to is like people that actually sell the fucking move. Like
that was good.
if he wouldn't have sold it that way, I'd have been like, oh, this is bullshit. They just fucking with him. But nah, like I really felt because at first I was like, why the fuck Kofi ain't just hit Randall and get off him? Like I was just like, oh, all y'all niggas is really selling this shit right now. Okay. All right. But Mr. Black, one up, one down.
I like Rey Mysterio
Listen, Dad.
Yo,
What
so
is this?
I told
with Eddie's son talking to him.
That's not shut the fuck up.
Boy, Eddie won the custody battle at SummerSlam.
Yo, that's a good point.
Kayfabe is
That's a
real,
good point.
ladies and gentlemen.
That's a good point.
Yo, son.
No, but you know what I told this one? I was like, Ish looks like Ray's son. He looks more like him than Joe.
You know what?
He looks more like Joe.
No, he doesn't.
He looks like Joe.
I gotta look at him.
Ish
Doesn't.
looks just like Joe.
You know
No,
what?
he
You know what? You know what?
doesn't.
For this segment, I'm gonna put a picture of Ish and Dominic, and you compare.
Yes. No, please, even though Ish
It's gonna
is
be
still
right
on my
there above
shit
your
list
head.
on the low. But,
But
it's okay.
listen, I like the fact that like I didn't expect his son to come out of nowhere. You know,
I
I'm
didn't either.
Sorry, I didn't expect Eddie's son to come
I hate
and
you.
talk to him, grab his
fucking
face.
hate you.
Dad, we're gonna do it together. I was like,
But I'm like, who the fuck are y'all facing together? What the fuck?
It don't matter.
no matter.
It don't, it's
Don't matter.
Dominic, young
So
No,
Dominic.
but no.
How old is this kid?
Yo, he's
Definitely like has to be
18,
like
19,
19,
yeah,
like not
Dominic,
even
you know,
21. I don't think.
I think he's 21.
He's 21.
I don't know.
But like, yo,
I wanna
I
know if
like
he can
that
drink.
moment. You know, I like the diversity.
I mean,
it
I
shows
just
how
hope that he doesn't
brown
turn
and black
on-
people have dads.
Okay. You know what? That's solid. That's you know what? Solid. I'm
See,
not even.
this is why Ray is
Yo,
loved by the
so
hood.
I hope you know.
Hood niggas love Ray.
Yo, so I hope you know we're gonna call this episode "Daddy Issues." I want to let you know that.
Exactly.
And I never name episodes at all. I tell you guys that right now.
Exactly,
I've
you
never
know?
named an episode.
Yeah,
You
everyone was
are
happy
on
like,
one.
dang, I wish I had a dad like that. You know,
And Ray was out here selling the tears. I was like, oh,
Facts.
come on,
Facts.
bro.
What else? I guess not real down. You know, I just feel like once again, you know, shout out to my son Cedric
Alexander
advancing
to the
Oh, man.
semifinals.
Oh man,
Super
It
excited.
was good. Once again, Raw was the 3 hours was very enjoyable from top to finish. It was very
Yo,
enjoyable.
my down was like, fuck it. I really
Oh,
wanted
shout out
to
to
hear
Baron Corbin wearing a
for
proper.
coming. Oh, okay. Talk about it because y'all always
man.
shit on this.
He
nigga.
got new shoes.
Yep, I take him seriously now.
Oh, bullshit.
Nah, he looks like a.
He look like a diverse
He look like
Undertaker.
he down.
Nah.
What?
He looks like he be having rough nights
Yeah.
at the job, and he drinks a lot. So, but
He look like a wife be like. He look like how that he beats his wife.
no, he don't.
No, he does not.
Don't
No,
say
he does
that.
not.
I didn't expect him to do that. I was like, yo, you about to beat someone's wife?
Wait, so he took because I only saw like the match. I didn't see
Yeah.
him
That,
come in
like,
the ring.
he took it
so he
off.
took off the
Yeah.
shirt. He had
And
on
he
the
about to
tank
beat
top. He had a
somebody,
wife
yeah.
because he had on a wife beater.
Yeah, it's not a
You're
wife beater. It's
fucking
a tank
annoying.
top.
It's a wife beater.
It's a
a
tank
wife
top. We
beater.
don't say that word anymore, son. Let's change it up, son.
No, I'm just saying
We can
that's
talk-
the name of the fucking
No,
thing.
it's not the name of it. It was never the name of it.
Oh,
the
my
hood
God.
named it to be a wife
Well, that's
beater.
what the
Wife
fuck
beater.
we're saying because the hood fucks with Baron Corbin. He's wearing a
The
wife
hood
beater.
doesn't fuck with
There we
Baron
go.
Corbin.
No.
But he out, he be out here with the Rolex.
Yeah, so-
he be with the Rollie with the gold chain.
Yeah, so-
Straight stunning on niggas.
So,
Yo, if he
and
had,
he's on a wife beater, and he knows
Yeah,
about
wife
his,
beater,
like
told
he
you.
knows he's about money because you're in the black one.
yeah, because the black ones you gotta look for those shits like
Yeah,
a white
yeah.
wife
So you got
beater.
money, so you got
can
money.
find that shit anywhere.
got money, you got money.
Yeah, money is colors. When you have different colors and shit, that's how you know different statuses and shit. But
If I see a nigga in a pink wife beater, oh man,
go uptown. I've seen it. Go uptown. But what else happened? Yo, oh damn, it was SmackDown though. Shout outs to Elias getting new music. That was
I didn't get to hear it.
it was on SmackDown.
A word?
Yeah.
even pay attention. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, what? That was the first thing I noticed. First of all, he came out. He had a whole entrance. Like that's how I knew shit was getting different because he came out. He had a whole different theme song. I was so listen to that shit. Go back and listen to.
I
that
can see
shit.
Elias winning.
Yeah.
I really want Cedric or Buddy to win, but that's neither here nor there. What else on Raw, real quick?
That's it.
But yeah, I mean, I was tight because I really wanted Jerry Lawler on commentary.
Yeah.
No, I didn't want Jerry
and
Lawler
Bray
on
took
commentary.
him out.
But the Fiend.
I don't want Jerry Lawler on commentary.
Why? I thought it was
Puppies.
No,
You know
it's.
what? Now I'm gonna go home and watch some old shit.
No,
'cause
because
of that.
it's
funny.
What it is that we talk about legends and we talk about that player on your team.
What? No,
You help other
right
people
for
out
it.
now. You bring them up. I don't need you to be on commentary because other people that could take be that position.
Or like they did the 205.
Oh, they're definitely testing him
live.
out.
That was a trial, and I wasn't too impressed.
He was alright. He just couldn't say much.
Yeah, because Michael Cole's like, it's boss time. The big
It's boss
dog.
time.
Shut
It's
the
boss
fuck
time.
up. Like,
It's boss time.
Jesus.
Fenton
Yo,
Cena.
and what blew minds was because you could tell that the guy, I forgot his name, that did commentary, but you could tell that Michael Cole was doing the heel commentary on Monday, and I was just saying him like, I need you to keep that same energy because if you're talking wild shit about Sasha Banks, that whole interview when he shout out to Sasha Banks for not even saying a fucking word.
I really enjoyed those
I was like,
interviews.
yes.
It was very like ESPN style.
Yeah.
Like it was like the thing he did with Booker, and then the Sasha
like the
one.
Booker one,
It
too.
was really ESPN sports oriented type of.
A lot of people don't understand that. You know, shout out to Simon Miller of Up and Down from the World Culture.
Up,
He
down,
seems
down.
not to get that, and I understand that. Like WWE's getting more sports.
Yeah, they're pushing that sports
Yeah,
narrative. Like
it's a
it's
sports
a lot
feel.
of times you have a segment on Sports Center where you're like, okay,
They on
let's
Sky.
talk to so and
Yeah,
let's talk to so and so. We're gonna have a
Yeah.
split screen. We're gonna talk about what's going on, and then Booker T's a legend.
Yeah.
So he's also
I like
an
it.
analysis.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah, because he does the pre-show and
exactly.
stuff like that.
So that helps
Yeah.
with the concept of it.
Wait, what were you giggling about before we go to SmackDown? You read something on the
Ralph
live.
Reigns.
Ralph Reigns.
Oh, what'd he say?
He said that it's called a wife beater because white dudes in the 50s used to wear them and where they beat their wife. No, it's called a wife beater
Oh.
because on cops, people who used to beat their wife used to wear them. So they said wife beaters.
Wow.
So we're not calling them wife beaters. They're tanks.
No one called them tanks.
No
wife
one
beaters.
says tanks. Yeah, I'm gonna have to side on your brother with that one. I'm
Nah,
like, that
son.
shit is a white.
If I go to like
Alright, cool.
if I go to Century 21,
If I'm
where your
going
wife
to
beaters at?
25th,
Oh, all right, cool. It's right there,
if I'm going
boss.
to 125th Street in Harlem and I go to a store,
Even
and
white
I'm
people know what
saying,
wife
listen,
beaters are.
Yo, let me get a pack of wife beaters.
All right, cool.
You're gonna know.
What size?
Right. All right. So let's go to SmackDown, Smack Dizzle,
I go first.
where we revealed.
Yo, honestly,
Yo,
honestly,
it's the funniest
it
shit.
feel like I'm watching Scooby Doo. Like, boy, like I'm interested. When he took off the mask,
First of
I was
all-
just like,
First of all, they gave me Greater Power vibes. Like I was sitting here, like, why they got this nigga dressed
Yeah.
as like the Greater Power? Because I was like, really?
Is that Rowan's dad?
That's what I thought. I was like, yo, y'all really got a guy that looks
and
just
Daniel
like
Bryan.
Rowan?
Yo, I don't know how to keep a straight face because they looked at. I was like,
Yo, right. And then they all, first of all, and then Roman and his daddy, or that's who could be, looked at each other like they was like twins. And then Roman's fucking confused because he's just like, what?
and I love the storytelling, long term booking. It's silly, but yet you invest into it.
Nah, I
Right.
was pissed, bro.
Like,
Yo, I was
liked
low-key
it.
no,
pissed.
I was
I liked
glad
it.
because y'all was debating about going to the movies because I was like, damn, I don't want to miss SmackDown. I don't want to miss the reveal because that's actually all I wanted to watch. So I went against the grain. I went to the movies and I literally got out. It was a half hour left of SmackDown. So I said, all right, listen, I'll just take a nice little stroll walk and I'll watch it on my Sling app. So then literally I get to the end of SmackDown and I was just like, yo, I'm glad I did
But
not
I liked
go home
it.
for that
It
shit.
felt like a
But it
Scooby-Doo
was so
vibe.
funny because I was
Exactly.
just like, oh,
And
y'all
Is that
fucking
the
with
end
me.
of it? That's
no,
the
no, no,
end
no,
of
no.
it's
Gotta turn
not
to
the
next
end of
week.
it. You gotta
see?
tune in.
Yo, you see, I'm invested.
You got to tune in.
Because the thing is, somebody was like, "Yo," somebody was complaining online about. I was like, "No, you don't understand." Like, I was at my boy's house. Ryan Scar, my boy Ryan Scar's
Oh, the
crib.
Spanish Triple H. Tell him I said that.
we chopping up whatever, we eating and
It's
shit.
a little fine, so.
And then like I was like, "Yo, I can't leave because I have to watch SmackDown."
Right.
And he was like, "What?" I was like, "Yo, nah, B. If I leave, I'm gonna miss the end of SmackDown. I have to find out who, like you said, who is
Who
the person."
did it? And yo, and the fact that they had that shit throughout even Raw
Exactly.
Like Michael Cole mentioned that shit. He was like, "Well, you got to tune in to SmackDown tomorrow night."
And this is
to
why,
see
like, yo,
who's been attacking Roman
it gets
Reigns.
people
I was like,
invested in the
whoa.
long run.
That's
like,
what I've been saying for so long on the podcast. The only way to bring it back is to make sure you watch it next week. Is you like, yo, what happened?
And that same token, they sold up the storyline with Buddy Murphy beef with them. Buddy Murphy got the W, and now you could tie in like him and Daniel could go at it. They ain't about to put him over very
the Heavy
clean.
Machinery lost.
So on top of that, I like the long-term storyline. It gave me, it didn't feel childish. It felt like, it gave me a throwback to the back in the day when I was watching Attitude, I was watching
I
Ruthless
told you
Aggression.
it was greater power vibes. Like I was just like,
I love it.
Oh, y'all
like,
fucking with me.
Like
Okay.
it wasn't cartoonish, but
Cool
it was just
story,
like,
bro.
you got me again, nigga.
Yeah, like it was just like, all right, now you're pulling my leg
So I'm
twice.
gonna watch this next
You
week.
got me again.
But it
Yo, did you not
what's your
see
up?
how fucking Charlotte pushed the fuck out of Bailey? Like she
You
was a
mean-
child.
I mean, Bailey pushed Charlotte
Somebody got pushed, but I was like, damn.
off the chair, right?
Yeah.
Bailey pushed Charlotte off the
Oh,
chair.
okay.
Yeah.
And then Charlotte was just like, oh.
But I say my up
I was mad.
is when Kofi Kingston called Randy
Came
Orton
back,
stupid.
yeah.
Stupid. Remind how stupid he was.
Came back with the I got you, bitch.
Stupid. But they cut
Heard
that out
you.
on WWE on YouTube. See?
Yeah.
Try to keep the brother down.
Well, no, they just don't want that all that cussing and shit.
He didn't curse. He said stupid.
Well, I mean, you never know. But what was your down then?
There's no down. There's no one down. Oh, no. I have to say, yo, son, you had the biggest like up momentum with Kevin Owens.
I
you know?
was a little tight about that.
And the fact that how he's begging, like, I get it. They try to make him more of a dad type of figure. But yo, bro, no. Shane, stay off my television.
No, that's exactly what it is.
Like,
You had it right.
Like, honestly, that story, like, that's the only biggest down. No wrong, the match was good, whatever.
No, yeah,
but
but
it's just
Shane,
like,
I was like-
Shane being, and like, I hated it. I felt that was the weakest point of SmackDown. But it was just that, the whole Shane still being there. But other than that, SmackDown was very well paced. I enjoy every match. Buddy Murphy getting the W. I enjoy Andrade's getting that W over Apollo
Andrade.
Crews. You know, I love
Seeing
everything.
Almas.
You know, Shinsuke and Sami Zayn form an alliance.
Yo, I
You know,
it's so
the colonizers
weird.
taking over. Wow. They taking over Japan.
Okay.
Come on, it's two of them. And it's like, come on. So you put all the people from, come on, man.
First of all, Sami Zayn is fucking Canadian, so
Still a colonizer.
But he's not a colonizer because he's from
he's
the Middle
from
East.
Fucking yeah, his background is was it
You got me there,
Syrian?
Sami Zayn.
I think it's
You
Syrian.
got me there.
That's why he's not at the Sadu Money pay-per-views.
Right. You're an idiot.
I be saying that elevators at work. I be chilling there.
I hope you never tell a female that shit because that's problematic as fuck.
What?
What?
Let me in.
It's kind of hot.
Problematic.
Like whisper in her ear.
Nah.
While you're taking her clothes
Yeah.
off. Let me in.
But no. That's too tame for me. Like, I got to disrespect her and choke her and say, let
The
me
fuck?
in.
No, all right. No, all right.
I like that safe sex. I like that rough sex, that
No,
hood sex.
it's not safe. I mean, I just never mind. We
In the
not gonna-
bedroom, I'm just Mr. Black, the hood nigga.
Okay.
I kept my Tim's on one time.
So, did you keep your socks on?
Sometimes.
I don't know why I think that's so weird.
I think that how that when I want to get into character one day, so I'm put on do-rag.
with no hair,
LL Cool J did it.
but you're not LL Cool J.
LL Cool J did do that.
Yeah, and in the house.
Oh, yo, that was my shit.
Facts.
I
That
still
was
wasn't a
my
huge fan of that
shit.
show.
I love that
What?
show.
You didn't like it?
I love that
I
show.
watched it all the time. I wasn't a
Oh,
huge fan.
nah, I fucks with that show. All right, real quick, Sir Wilkins, any ups or downs you want to say at SmackDown before we do sign off?
One of the my favorite match was Daniel Bryan versus Buddy Murphy. Enjoyed that match very much. So,
Daniel Bryan, I think, brought out the whole different side of Buddy, which I was really glad he was able to showcase that.
the down is who got revealed, but then the up is like, yo, I want to see what's gonna happen with this shit. So I don't know. They fucked me up.
Yep.
But I think that was the point, to mind fuck you in the worst way possible, because I mean, you know, people are getting tight about, you know, Charlotte getting back in the title picture, blah blah
Who
blah.
they gonna put in the title picture?
But exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Nah, but
who they gonna put?
Yeah, that's it.
Question mark.
And besides, oh,
Amber?
oh, there's something that
Which they
Charlotte
should've.
says that I've been saying this
If they
forever.
were gonna do that,
like
they
I could
should've
tell
pulled the
that they
fucking
watched
trigger
this
on
show. Is she said mentioned that you brought out the prestige of the title, and I always mention this. Certain title holders do bring out prestige of the title. And I just feel like when Bailey wins, that's gonna cement. That will make her run. Add that little notch up of like she defeated Charlotte.
She's boring, and I think
Don't-
Charlotte's
don't
gonna end up
dis-
winning.
don't disrespect
either.
Bailey.
It doesn't matter. She's
Bailey,
gonna end up losing, and
love
Charlotte's gonna
you.
be a 10-time.
I don't like white
champion.
girls, but like
Wow.
I don't.
Okay.
Bailey's more Hispanic though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
She's
sure.
like Spaniel, so I could break the law for that. But nah, I think my sister will get mad at me. Like you see, that's the bond I'm in.
You said what?
Like if I date outside my race, all the black women on my friend list will drag me.
They won't.
Yes, they would.
They wouldn't though.
And they're not real friends.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
Yeah,
do
you have
that.
to understand, like, you know, like I preach that black unity. But if
Well, then you got to keep that same.
But yeah,
energy.
understand. If Daya from Orange New Black want to get with me, that's out Latina, so that's okay. That's okay.
I mean, but most Hispanics are Afro Latina to be.
But
completely
no.
honest with you.
They can't be like white like that. You know, like I'm not attracted
I've
to
had
that.
cousins like straight Cuban. I've had cousins.
I'm not
and
attracted
they
to that. I'm
white
not attracted
as-
to that.
Okay,
I'm
I mean, you're
attracted to
attracted
that.
to what you're attracted to.
Yeah. But they gotta look like Nia
At
Jackson
least, like
complexion.
your brother over here, United Nations.
Tamika, Tanima.
Tamina.
Oh my gosh, that's a woman right there. That's my cinnamon queen.
So we signing off.
Yeah.
I love me some
Man.
Tamina. Yo, I was watching. Like she got thicker after her child, man. Oh man, let me in.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Another interesting episode of the Java Tears podcast. We do appreciate everyone for tuning in on Instagram and Facebook Live. As always, you guys can subscribe to our YouTube page at the Java Tears podcast. Our AEW, once again, viewing party will be next Saturday, August the 31st, hosted by Miss Faye Jackson, and Tasha
Her fine
Steele.
self.
What the fuck is wrong
She
with
fine. Like
you feeling really loose today with your little shorts and your little Toucan Sam shirt. The fuck? Out here showing thigh meat. And you think you hot shit today. Anyway, once again, Miss Faye Jackson and Tasha Steele are going to be
Tasha
hosting
Steele, you know. Check out the Tasha Steele interview with Mr. Black.
on YouTube.
The link is right here.
This has been fun. So once again, AEW next Saturday. Anything else before we do go? Once again, shout outs to everyone that has subscribed to our Facebook group page. We're almost at 1,000. The goal is before my birthday, September the 8th, to hit 1,000 subscribers, followers, additions to the team. Anything else coming up? As always, you can listen to Toxic Talk with Sarah Wilkins, Larry Morgan, and Sid. That is on our I feel like Jabba Tears Network page. Once again on YouTube. And we do have some upcoming projects coming in the works. So stay tuned for more information on that. And then once again, Battle Club Pros. Anything you can do. September the 28th in Brooklyn, New York. Right before New Japan hits the Manhattan Center. So come out, support independent wrestling. Anything else I'm forgetting before we go? As always, next week.
Oh no, Warriors Friday.
Yes. Those that are watching on the live feed, Jabba Tears podcast will be live this Friday at Warriors. Shout out to Marcus Marquis and Isaiah Wolf.
Prolific.
That will be opening the show. Once again, opening the
Prolific,
show.
because they are the showstopper, the show opener. No matter where you place them, they're gonna stop the show because they're that damn good.
Wow.
Prolific. Shout out to Big Time Yaya. You know,
Shout out to Yaya
you know,
for this.
winning,
Shout out
catching
to
that W.
BCW.
Of course,
This
my
past
son Yaya
weekend.
he ain't strong. He's Yaya strong. That man is a beast. When he put on a Jabba Tears shirt,
He came out as a Jabba Tears show. I
Jabba
was
Tears,
super
when
proud.
you put on that shirt, you get the Yaya speed, the Yaya strength.
But yes, shout out to BCW for their this past
You saw that
weekend.
kick with
Yaya,
Darius Carter?
hell yeah, I saw that kick with Darius Carter. She kind of deserved it on the low. But as
woman
always,
beater.
I am Janelle from HR here with Sir Wilkins and Mr. Black with his thigh meat out. Typically, it's me with my thigh meat out, and typically now it's him today. But once again,
Toes out.
yeah, my toes is always out summertime. Up and I
Looking
think they go
nice.
into hibernation
Looking
like
nice,
after
looking
my
sweet.
birthday.
Look at delicioso.
Anyway, we're gonna sign off now because now it's awkward as fuck. Hashtag Black Excellence. Hashtag we are out.
The shit's fire.
It's the Jobbers Tears podcast.